This week, we're talking to one of the biggest college track athletes on the planet. We got Rob Hoop joining Colt and I in the studio. Man, this conversation was so good because we've talked to a ton of baseball players, football players about what it's like to create content as an athlete. But there's so many other sports out there like track and field where you can take the thing that you love, running track, running cross country, and create content around it and build a huge brand. Now, we came across Rob, and I love this because we just found him on TikTok. Like, we find so many other amazing athletes out there, and I fell in love with his content with him sharing his morning routine, his workouts, his running, his race prep. But then he also has long form content where he's going on YouTube and he's literally breaking down an entire track meet and what happened step by step and beat by beat. This episode is so good because we talk about it all, from how, he gets a call from his recruiting director at his school saying, Rob Hoop, we got like an incoming freshman coming in and they want to meet you because you're the popular guy on social media, to how he films, to how he edits, to how he thinks about content in season, out of season, cross country. Like, this is a masterclass in being a student athlete creator, and you're not going to want to miss it. Let's check out this week's episode of The Brolettes.
This week's episode is presented by RT Shades. There's a sunglass brand I started with my dad to help athletes block out distractions. And right now you can get 2 pairs for $49 at rtshades.com. Thanks for supporting this podcast. Now head to rtshades.com. What's summer like as a college track athlete for Tennessee State?
Summer, it's just a big balance of training, putting all my effort into my internship, and just getting the right amount of sleep. I'd say I kind of follow like a sort of soft routine every day. Like every day I just wake up early. I go on my one run, maybe a second run later in the day. But I wake up early, go on my run, then I go to my internship from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. And that's just doing a bunch of engineering work and stuff. So it could be a lot of different things going on throughout the day. Sometimes I might leave at 4:30 or even 5 p.m. depending on what kind of projects I have going on. And then when I get back, I'm either going to the gym or I'm going on a second run for the day. And then after I get done with all that, I'm trying to do content planning and stuff, or just get videos recorded so I have something to post to keep my platform going. And then at the end of all that, I make my food and I go to sleep. So it's very soft routine type of thing I got going this summer.
Yeah, but it keeps you busy, man. How much of the actual training is like coach putting plans together versus you just intrinsically motivated to get ready for next season?
I'd say my coach does put us some plans together. Not very specific ones, just kind of, here's a weekly thing to keep you guys active. Like, here's some rep distances that you can do. It doesn't really give specific times or specific rests. Just like if you need a format to go off of, like you have no idea what to do. If we just leave it to you, then coach has something for us. But I do, like, after these years, I've had a lot of outsourcing and just like inward sourcing of myself that I kind of know what my body can and can't handle over the summer. So I know what I can push myself to do, and just like what kind of approach gets me ready for cross country season and in turn gets me ready for track season.
I want to kick this off. Like, there's one video in particular. It's got 1.7 million views on Instagram. Hopefully you know which one I'm talking about. It's a POV video about the teammate that says, let's go slower on this rep. If you remember that one, man, that seems to be an outlier, right? Anything that you remember about that video? What makes it unique, and what was it kind of like just seeing that go from, just kind of shoot to the moon?
That video is a prime example of every time every time I just put like very low effort into a video and I'm like, this might get like 500 likes or something. It's always that video that just blows up, just because I guess the low effort stuff is also like very relatable sometimes, and people just love that. Like they don't know that it only took me 5 seconds to record that, and like 10 seconds to edit it. But I was at practice one day, like it was like one evening. It wasn't even practice. I was just doing some work outside of it. I think it might have been over winter break or something. And I'm doing my last reps. I'm like, I'm bored. I haven't posted in a little bit. I can make some content out of this. I literally stuffed my phone into the front of my pants that I was running in. And I just faced the camera out. And I'm like, I really hope it stays still enough to where this video works out. And then I just edited it after, and it did that. And then like just seeing it blow up, and the fact that it still gets comments and it still brings traffic to my page it's just amazing because I never would have thought it would have ended up like that.
Dude, we've talked to almost everybody that has like a viral hit like that, and they say the exact same thing. It's like, it's either the human moment, it's so relatable, but at the same time, we're going to talk a lot more about your actual content strategy as we go, but that video itself doesn't necessarily build, it's cool. It gets a ton of views, gets a ton of likes, comments, but it doesn't necessarily build the Robert Hooper brand, right? Compared to some of the other things that you do. So there's a balance there of like, yeah, it's great because it gets a ton of visibility, but that's not necessarily the thing that you want to be known for per se, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I try to stay away from like doing memes on my account too much because I think that those don't really build the type of community that I like to have. Like I like to have a community of people that can look to me or look within each other or just get to know me as a person and not just like someone is like, oh, this the guy that makes like memes and jokes or something like that. I don't like to be boxed in too much with my content.
We get to talk to a lot of D1 baseball players, but what I want to know is what's some things that a lot of people don't know about college track athletes that you wish they knew?
I got to think on that a little bit. What would people not know?
So to get you started, so where when we were talking about this question, I was like, you know what, like they work probably just as hard, if not harder, than any other athlete, right? They don't have the same kind of NIL opportunities as like the football players or the basketball players, but it doesn't mean you don't work as hard, right? Like it's crazy. I'm sure the amount of effort and what you put in is just the same as anybody else, but track isn't necessarily that at the same level as like a football or basketball or, you know, even a baseball. So that's what we were thinking about is just like, I know you, I watch your videos, you work your butt off, man, you know? And so that's, but again, just like, I just don't think people understand that there's other sports at universities and how hard you guys really work, both as a student and an athlete and you as a creator.
Yeah, like I mean, like even this question goes outside of track too, but like it applies to like especially like softball players and stuff like that. Like, but with track athletes, we like you said, we do work as hard as any other athlete. Like we're still doing those 2-a-days. We're still having to tweak our eating to certain ways. We're having to eat enough to like refuel our bodies. We're having to eat certain ways within the season and outside of the season. We have to lift outside of the season and lift even heavier sometimes within the season and stuff like that. Like there's multiple lifts going on a week. The sprinters especially, they lift like football players do. I think they can outdo some of the football players at our college. Like, you know, like the explosiveness of being like a track athlete in any facet, like whether you're a thrower, a distance runner, or a sprinter, like you all have to be a very explosive. You have to have some sort of natural talent. Not everybody can just like jump into track and like really get it going. Like everyone can run, but not everyone can run. And I think some people really don't understand that. They'll come over to the sport. They'll think it's real sweet until like you really see how things get. And it's like just people have been like in this sport for years and they're just now seeing like how there's levels to it, you know? There are very much levels to it. Like I think running is one of those things that a lot of people think they can hop in and do it just because it doesn't seem to have as much of a skill gap. But I think it's very much different.
You've had a couple first place finishes at meets last season. What's your most memorable meet so far in college?
I'd like to start off with our home meet that we have every year, the Ed Temple Classic. I like that one just because I usually do get a win in that one every year, whether it be the 800 or the mile. It kind of depends on which one I want to focus on. Sometimes I win both of them. And I always love that meet because we have the cameraman right beside the finish line. I always get some sick pictures out of that meet. I have it. I have it pinned to my profile. I love the pictures from that meet every year, right? But I think even taking it over to the cross country course, I think one of my most memorable meets was I'd say the first time I broke our cross country like school record in the AK at the live at Louisville Classic in 2022. Yeah, it was my freshman year. So that was the first time I broke that record. I've lowered it since, but like that was the graphic that came out of that and stuff. Like it was just my first like welcome to college type of moment. So I really do cherish that race a lot.
All right, let's shift over to being an athlete and a creator. Why did you first start creating content?
I've always had like a knack for video editing and graphic design and stuff like that. I've always wanted to be some sort of influencer and stuff. Like I remember I remember, I don't think anybody really knows this, but me and my little brother, we watched a lot of WWE growing up. And there were these certain YouTube videos that would be like recreating WWE moves. Now don't like anybody listening to this podcast, don't let your children like recreate the WWE moves like I did. But I'm I'm blessed that I'm here right now because we was doing way too much on that trampoline. But we would make video, like we would record that on an iPad, and I would go back and edit the videos, and like it'd be like a compilation of WWE moves. And then after that, like a few years later, I had a mini gaming channel that nobody really knows about. I was playing mobile games and editing those videos. And then I guess when I really got into track and I was like, I have a sport that I really am into and I'm going to get to college and like NIL is starting to become a thing. And I just want like something to kind of keep me accountable and people to reach out to, just because I had a lot of influence on like the middle schoolers on my track team and the young high schoolers. I was like, I kind of want to keep this influence going. I want to get people more into the sport, and I want to like get support to me and support back to them. So that's what made me really want to get into content going into college.
Let's talk about your short form videos. You have a couple different formats, from day in the life to what you're eating to breaking down your training. What's your strategy when it comes to creating short form content?
I'd say the first thing about short form content or any content in general is to make what you like to make. It is going to prevent burnout a lot. Don't always, like, I know there's always going to be those comments that are like, hey, upload this. Hey, we really like to see this. And I like to listen to those sometimes, but sometimes I just upload what I feel like uploading. Like if I uploaded this routine video and y'all people really liked it and they're like, hey, can you upload this next? I'm like, okay, I'll like the comment, but I might give it to you like 2 or 3 weeks or something. I want to upload what I want to upload in between that, just because like that's what I enjoy. I might sit on my computer bored enough to where I want to edit this specific video because it's going to cure my boredom, you know? So it's just kind of like what I feel in the moment. And sometimes it's about catching the algorithm, but the algorithm is going to catch itself if you're making what you enjoy. And those videos are going to show that you enjoyed making them because they always come out to be good quality and people appreciate that.
Man, that's such an important thing, because if you're not excited to make it, it's not going to last, right? Like it's going to get old real quick because again, you got classes, you got an internship, you got, you're doing 2 seasons of sport, right? It's cross country and track. So if you're not feeling it, it could stop really, really quick. When it comes to strategy, talk a little bit about like right now you're off season, it's summer. How do you think about off-season content versus in-season? And is there any mix? Or do you try to post daily? Are there peaks and valleys? Like, what does that look like for you? And maybe how has that changed, over your college career?
I would say the off-season is always my time to really get things going. That's how it's kind of been in the past. Summer, I just have more time to do things. I've been trying to upload. Okay, so for the past few weeks, I've been trying to upload around 3 times a week at least with my short form content. Now on TikTok, I do just upload some green screen background videos here and there, or just me talking. So I can upload as much as I want there. But as far as voiceover content and that short form stuff, like routine videos and stuff like you specified earlier, I like to get like 2 or 3 of those out a week, because I don't want to burn those out, or I don't want to burn myself out, because I don't think I have the capacity to upload daily right now with just balancing training and an internship. And I have a summer class going right now. So like I can't be uploading daily. It's just not going to happen. Like I'll be fine without it. The algorithm still loves me sometimes. When in comparison to in season, it's whenever a video can come out. It's like sometimes for Instagram Reels, that short form type of content, I like to like upload a weekly workout video, because I found that was a good routine and people like to keep up with it as sort of a series. So that was pretty much my strategy for this past season. I would just upload like 1 weekly workout video. If anything else came out, that would be a plus, but 1 video a week on Instagram was kind of my thing. And it grew my account a good bit. I hit 10K. I hit 10K near the end of the school year, and that was like a 4,000 or 4 or 5,000 follower jump from when I started uploading that workout series. So it just kind of, the routines kind of come and go with the in-season stuff. or like the end school year stuff.
How do you come up with ideas for your videos?
I get writer's block a lot, to be honest, but I have the notes app in my iPhone. I just like, if I just think of anything throughout the day, or I see that something is like sort of catching on an algorithm for other people and stuff, I might just throw a note down and then also put in parentheses how I'm going to approach that video, so I don't forget what I was thinking in that exact moment, because I want to keep that twist that I like to bring to my videos, that uniqueness. So and then other times, like I'll spend, like this weekend, I definitely did do a lot of content planning and brainstorming. I made my 3 videos that I'm going to upload this week already. So they're all drafted out and stuff. So like it just kind of comes in waves with how I think of my ideas for my videos. And then there's also the fact that, my Discord is really good for those. Like I have a community of people, and sometimes I'll ask those people. There's about 400 folks in there. I might get like 2 good answers back whenever I ask, though. It's like, well, what do y'all want to see? Have y'all seen anything trending that y'all would like to see me like approach? So that's one of my approaches as well.
We're going to get to the Discord server later, because I think that's super cool, super unique. But what you just did, like what you just said, is like, I had a bunch of ideas, kind of batch recorded for the week. Is that normal, or is that something like you were just in a groove, and you just wanted to get them all knocked out?
I definitely say I was in a groove. I think just like the recent success I've had on my Instagram page just in these past few weeks from a couple of videos that have gotten, one of them got over 100,000 views, a couple others got over 50,000 views, and then one of them is actually at 1 million views right now that I uploaded this past week. So it got me really motivated. So I went ahead and batch recorded this week so I can keep that consistency going and really grow on it. I grew in the past week. I've grown about 6,000 followers. So I'd like to keep that going. I'm at 16 point something K or 15 point something K. I'd like to hit 20,000 before I get back to school. So that'd be a great goal to put on myself.
Nothing motivates you like an algorithm bump.
Man, I'm saying sometimes it's just what you need. Like sometimes you're at a low, and like that, Instagram reminds you, like, yeah, we're still here for you. Like, come on, upload a little bit more. Like, yeah, if you upload more, we'll help you more. Like all algorithms love consistency. So I've been trying to really keep that to myself. And because supporters love consistency, that's more important than algorithm to me. I love my community. My community loves me. So I like to keep it a good relationship.
What's your filming process like? What gear are you using to go from idea to filming to editing to posting?
I have a pretty basic tripod. It's pretty sturdy though. I have a tripod. I just use my phone to record at this point. Like I do have a Canon camera, but it was only for YouTube videos at some point, and I don't do YouTube videos too often. I just don't have much time for it. But so I've been on the trusty old iPhone 11. It's about time for me to upgrade. I'm about 4 generations behind, but that's my recording device. And then I just bought a new microphone. I just bought a new microphone, one that can like plug into the phone and then plug back. You can like magnetize it to the inside and outside of your shirt. So that's been a great deal for me. I've been using that for the past week, and my followers have been loving the new audio bump, and I can actually like stand away from the camera and you can hear me now. So that's brought a whole another level of versatility. I can like start to take a whole another angle of my content. And then I just use, like, whenever I'm recording, I just set up the tripod in a bunch of different spots. Hopefully I get enough shots to go back later. If I don't have enough shots, whenever I get to the CapCut editing part, I just throw in extra B-roll, or I sit there wondering what I'm going to put in that certain part for that long. And then after I have all that done, I go to Google Docs, I script out my video, I record it, and then I chop it up and put it over all the clips, or I match the clips to the audio in CapCut. And then by that time, it's ready to upload after I've added my captions and all that.
Because some of your videos, man, the voiceovers are really, really cool. And I think you do a really good job of that. Do you do a lot of that just free flow? Are you scripting a lot of that? Do you kind of have a plan going in? Like what's that part like? Because it's different than just yapping, like pulling out your phone and just yapping to it. Like you sound really polished. So, hey, kudos. But how do you think about doing the voiceovers?
Okay, so free flow is a good way to describe it. I guess like I free flow the scripting for it. So like whenever I'm in the docs, I don't think of it too much. I literally type the way that I speak. So like I just do that so I don't take really long pauses and stuff like that, or I don't stop my thoughts too much. So it takes me about 10 minutes to write the script. And then I just record it all in one take, maybe two takes if I mess up a word or two. And then after that, I go into CapCut. I split up the audios, and then any like deep breaths that I take or anything, or even sometimes if I pause too far between two words, I know that people are like really quick to like tune out, or they will hear a pause and they'll just kind of like, yeah, I noticed that one. So I like to cut out. I like it. I like my voiceovers to sound like I didn't breathe once the whole time. Like, so, and I guess like the way you described it, people like that. So like it flows very nicely, but I'm not that smooth of a talker. I'm sorry. Like it's a little bit of a lie. It's a little bit of editing magic. Like I'm not scared to admit it. Anyone can ask me. I'll tell them the truth. Like
I love those.
You have a lot of videos that have done really well in terms of views and engagement, and yet you're not playing one of the major sports at a major school. Why do you think your content resonates and breaks through?
advertising yourself as a person and being away from the identity of how big a sport is or how big a school is a very important skill to have. Like there are some creators, and it's not a knock to them. Like sometimes they'll admit it too, sometimes that they'll get trapped within a box of like representing their school, or like their whole niche is like how big their school name is or something. Like they are their school's logo for some of their videos. And then also another niche is just like, oh, they're one of the people within a big sport. And I think that's also sort of an advantage to me too, because like track is a minor sport in the bigger scheme of things, that like there are creators, there's not going to be as many creators, right? So like it's not as big of a pond to be a small fish in. And then you could eventually, like if you're a small fish and the pond starts to get a little smaller, then eventually you're a bigger fish. So I'm not that big of a creator, but if you ask a lot of people within the running community, like who Rob Hoop is, they're going to know who Rob Hoop is, you know, or they're at least going to have seen some of my videos at that moment, because there isn't that much saturating the running content world. It's not like to a point where it's very overly saturated. And I think that's very important. And I think that's been an advantage to me, you know.
I love the way that you look at that and you think about that, because if you let that identity get to you, like, oh, I just do track and I just do it at Tennessee State. I'm not taking anything away from either sport or Tennessee State, but if you think that way, right, people are going to treat you that way. Like when I see your content, I think you're the biggest running guy on the planet because of how you present yourself and your identity and how you represent it. And I think you've done a really good job, because you could have that limiting belief of like, oh, who am I? I'm just, I'm not at an SEC school or this or that, like whatever, right? And you don't think that way. And looking at your content, you would think that you are, the biggest guy on the planet. And so I think you've done a really good job in your own identity and your own self-expression of showing that, it doesn't matter who you are, where you go, what sport you play. Like if you have some cool, interesting things to share, people are going to follow.
Yeah, I appreciate that too, because yeah, like if you're putting out good quality content, and if you like know in your heart that you're enjoying what you put out and that people can enjoy what you put out, then I think like just being in a huge sport market doesn't even need to be a necessary thing to really be successful,
Yeah. And let's be real, running's big, right? Maybe not like collegiate track and field running, but running itself,
running itself is way bigger than like track and field is. It's sad enough, but like, yeah, that is how it goes. There's definitely some overlap with it, but yeah, they're kind of their two separate things, but there's some overlap.
What do your teammates think about you creating content as a student athlete?
What do my teammates think? I think they're pretty funny about it. Like at first, like I'll say that I still do get trolled about it a lot. Like, but it's all love though. Like those are my boys. The woman on the team too, they'll troll me about it, but it's all in good love. They know that I love what I do, and they like to appear in my videos. They even get inspired by what I do. Like some of them have started trying to do some content too, and I like to give them pointers. And sometimes their stuff goes off, and I'm like really proud to see it. So, and they support me whenever something's going on. Like I'll hit up the group me or something, the team group me, and I'm like, hey, I have this video idea coming up. Like, if a few of y'all could jump in on this, or like if y'all just know that I'm gonna record, or if someone could be a cameraman for me this one day, then they're like really supportive of it, and I appreciate them for that. So like it's never been a worry of like my teammates don't support my content journey or something, or they're jealous. Like nah, it's always been really, it's been a big like love relationship between them, and they appreciate that I bring attention to the team too, because it has worked to like bring a recognition to the team, and it's even worked in bringing like some recruits to the team. Like they'll reach out to our coach just because they've seen my videos. So it's all, I think everyone on the team appreciates it, and I appreciate that they appreciate it.
Man, that's big. There's two things I want to pull on there real quick. And one is that you're not afraid to ask for help, right? And I think that's big, because you're like, hey, if anybody's around after practice, I need somebody to hold the camera. I think a lot of people maybe even have a fear of doing that, right? Asking for help. Like, I'm going to do this all on my own. And you're now the second college athlete that's told us something to the effect of, people are seeing our videos and it's bringing attention to our school, right? We had a D3 baseball player who the athletic director came up to him and he's like, yo, we have more applications for people to play baseball here than we've ever had. And they all keep saying that they're watching you on TikTok, and it's just, it's kind of cool to hear that, because that's like an unintended consequence, right? Like you're trying to build your personal brand, share some of your story, but you're benefiting so many other people because of the content. That's got to make you feel good about what you're doing too.
Yeah, like it always does feel good. Like well, a funny thing is a few different times when my coaches brought some young males in for visits and stuff that do like similar events to me, or even sprints. Like she'll kind of get me on the phone like, hey, this person says they watch your videos. Can you come to the recruitment visit? Can you show them around a little bit? And I'm like, yeah, I got you. Like it ain't nothing new. I like to hear it, dog. I like to hear it, and I like to hear that I'm helping like recognition wise. So it's always a good feeling.
What do your coaches think about you creating content?
My coaches, I mean, we don't talk about it a lot. We don't talk about it a lot, but sometimes my coach will brag about it, right? Like I said, like whenever a visit happens, like she'll be talking to the parents, and I'll have to like stand over distantly and act like I'm not embarrassed to just like overhear this conversation going on. She'll be like, yeah, Robert over there, he's famous. And I'm like, coach, I'm not famous. Stop saying that. I'm not famous. I'm known within the running community. Can we please tweak the wording, please? But yeah. So, and she has recognized that like it has helped some recruits come in. And even when we go to a lot of track meets or cross country meets, because sometimes there are some college/high school meets that go on, like both of them will go on at the same time. A lot of high schoolers will literally walk up to her and ask where Rob Hoop is. And I think that is the funniest thing ever. And she thinks it is so funny because yeah, so like she thinks it's a funny situation, and she appreciates the recognition coming. But like when it just seems like ridiculous, because my coach is an Olympic gold medalist, and you're walking up to her and asking where I am. Like you're asking the Olympic gold medalist where Rob Hoop is. What's going on?
That's the power of content, man. I want to flip it real quick. I know you mentioned, and I know you're not super consistent there, but I want to talk about some of the long form stuff, because the ones that we were watching, man, the like your breakdown of like your races, we get to see how you think. We get to see how the race went. We get to really feel like we were there in your head. And I know they're harder. I know they take forever. I know that it's a different beast than a TikTok or an Instagram reel, but just talk about some of the long forms and, what you've been trying to do there, because I do think that that's a really interesting way to build community and build brand, because instead of somebody watching you for 30 seconds or 60 seconds, they're spending 20 minutes with you, 25 minutes with you, and seeing you as this expert of like, man, he's talking about how we started. He's talking about the things that were happening. Like, you really come across, like an expert, in those longer form videos.
First of all, I would like to say that I would definitely make a lot more of those breakdown videos if I had more race footage to give out for those videos. Like, so a lot of my races aren't making those ESPN, those ESPN plus accounts and stuff like that. They're not making it on those streams. So it's like if I could make more of those videos, they don't take that long to make. I just have to sit back and force myself to look at everything wrong I did in the race. That's the hardest part. But that like, cause I've already rewatched that race about 10 times before I press record, you know, but, that's the hardest part, but those don't take that long. I would have really loved to put more of those out if I just had more race footage. And as far as like my other long form content, as far as my race vlogs and stuff go, I do like to break down my race after that. Like I'll just spit my personal thoughts after. So I'm glad that I can give that out to people and they can look to me as a source that like not everything is going to go right. Or sometimes you just have to appreciate the things that do go right. You have to identify what you can improve on from there and stuff like that. So I'd really like to put out more long form content because people really do appreciate that. And you know, if someone's there to watch you for 20 minutes, then they're there to watch you for like as long as you're watching content. They're going to watch anything that you upload because they know that I'm uploading stuff like for the betterment of everybody. And that I really put out, I do it for the love of the game. For, in a lack of better words, I do all this for the love of the game.
What's been the biggest benefit of creating all this content? What's been the payoff for you?
The biggest benefit is accountability on myself. It's really kept me like within the realm of just putting all my effort into what all I do, whether that is being a student or an athlete or just a role model in general. Because like there's people from back in my hometown in Mississippi, they all watch my videos. My coaches all watch my videos. They like to show it to the upcoming middle schoolers on the team and stuff. My little brother watches my videos. He's just now getting into track. So like seeing that I'm being held accountable in front of all this youth and even these older people that like love to see that I'm like pertaining to the youth, it's a great thing. And also just having that reciprocated community. Like I know that I'm helping these people. They reach out to me. I like to respond to as many people as I can. I can't get to all of them all the time, but I like to respond to at least like one or two people a day that send me these paragraphs of asking for advice and stuff. And that's just a really good feeling. Like it just leaves a very good feeling in the heart to be consistent with that sort of thing. So, and it's also like, other than that, just like the NIL side of it, or just like the ad revenue side outside of NIL, it's just like, it's easy for me to sustain myself. And not every athlete can say that. Not every person in college can say that, period. And not every person in my family can say that, if I'm being honest. Like it's been easy to sustain myself from here, but that doesn't ever make me stop grinding more. You know what I mean? Like always want more out of this. Always want other people for me to want more out of this. Like I want to be held accountable, and I want to hold other people accountable with my content. So I think that the big takeaway is that like there's just it's a very big mutual relationship. I think that it's all very good to go around, you know?
Yeah, I love that. And I think the more that you take care of your community, everything else is going to take care of itself, right? Like the NIL deals are going to come, the brand deals are going to come, the ad deals are going to come because you have this connection to the community. And one of the ways that you're doing that, I know we talked about it earlier, but I want to ask about it now, is this Discord server, man. Like you got like 400, 500 people in this Discord server. What let's just talk me through like the thinking there. Why'd you start it? Like what was kind of the purpose behind it? What has it turned into? You're the first athlete we've talked to that's done this. So I'm just genuinely curious, about the process and how it's working for you.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up, I'll honestly say like Discord is known as like the gaming servers and stuff like that. I grew up gaming a lot. So I was in a lot of Discord servers growing up for every game that I played, because that's where the communities would be. So I wanted to take and like YouTubers do it a lot too. Gaming YouTubers, especially, they'll all have Discord servers. So I wanted to like bring that sort of aspect. Now I wasn't the first running creator to have a Discord server, but like, I was like, wow, I want to do it. Like it's something that I feel needs to be there. I've had like Snapchat group chats or Instagram group chats with supporters, but I feel like Discord, there's no limit to how many people can join and stuff. And there's like a bunch of different possibilities with how you can do things. I like to, don't tell too many people this, but I like to host watch parties in there. Like I'll have a good friend of mine or something. Like they'll get a track meet going, like one of the big track meets and then they'll stream it to the Discord and we'll all watch it, like just voice chatting about it as it's going on. And that builds community so much. And it's just like a very good thing to do. And like even last night, I was streaming in my Discord because I'm planning to have a group long run in Indianapolis, like either next weekend or the next weekend. And I was just streaming myself making the poster for it. And I was just getting opinions from people within my Discord. And they're just like, hey, maybe add this right here. Maybe add that right there. Hey, that sucks. Move it. Like, yeah, this is like, I like having the Discord for feedback and just for overall community. And I think a lot of more content creators need to start doing it. I think it's a very good thing. And it's very good for countering what I mentioned earlier, like that box of being put into a certain level of content, because these people are going to get to know you as a person if you have a Discord server and you're in there chatting often.
Love that breakdown. And I think it's brilliant. I think it's so smart. It's a real way to create community, because when you're just posting online, it's even though they can comment, it's really one way, right? Like, I'm putting out this piece of content, you're like, but having that community and that feedback, there's nothing like it, man. Love that.
How do you balance being an elite athlete, a student, and a creator?
I think what I like to say is that I can't be great at all three at once. Like sometimes I got to prioritize. It kind of goes week by week, like one week I'll be really locked in. Okay. I'd say it's really hard to like balance the three. Like you just kind of got to lock in on it week by week. Like 1 week, is a wave of content coming. Like I'll pump out a bunch of drafts or something, or I'll have stuff ready for the next couple of weeks. And then like, during that week, I'm also focusing on school a lot. So maybe I'm not getting as much sleep as I need to be the elite athlete that I want to be the next morning. And then the next week, it's like, we're going to switch that up a bit. I'm going to turn in my assignment almost late, but now I'm getting enough sleep and now I'm getting out content. And then the week after that, it's like, okay, I'm doing my assignments. I'm a good athlete. I'm getting all the sleep I need, but I'm not going to upload all week. Like, so it's pretty much a waves of doing it. Like sometimes I'll be lucky to get into a groove and I really have all three going at one time, but I'd be lying if I said it wasn't in waves and I could just manage all three at the same time all the time. You know what I mean?
Love the honesty there, because that is the truth, right? And that's with everything, is like, you want to be elite at all these things, but something's always got to give, right? Because there's only so much Rob Hoop to go around.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for other athletes who want to start documenting their athletic journey?
I would say just start posting. Don't think too much on, well, I won't say don't think too much. You should think a little bit about what you post. Don't post anything harming to your representation or like the reputation of the school, and just kind of like put effort into what you post, but still go ahead and post anything that you feel you put effort to. Because like I said earlier, people will recognize that and stuff. And sometimes something will bang. And then it honestly takes a while of posting to really find out what niche you want to go into, what genre, what flow, what type of person you want to be perceived as on the internet. And then sometimes that's even just like, I know a lot of athletes who will separate their athlete accounts from their personal accounts because they'll be embarrassed of like their in real life, like the real life people that they know, just seeing their stuff and being like, oh, he's not going to make it or she's not going to make it or stuff like that. I say, don't even think about that, because once you do make it, they're like, oh, you make money off of this. That's always the question. They're like, oh, you make money off of this, or like, oh, I really like your videos. Like that. I think it all works out in the end. Like, I'm not saying that like they're haters or anything, but sometimes people just like kind of look at what you're uploading and they're like, what are you doing? And then until they know what you're doing and they see that it's actually starting to pop off. So I say just upload what you want, upload what you love to upload, because that's what's going to come out the best anyways. Don't feel pressure to upload a certain way or to not upload at all. You know what I mean? Just go for it.
If you had unlimited budget to create content, what would you spend the money on to grow your brand?
I would fly a lot of places, like whether that be within the country or out of the country. I would probably fly and do a bunch of races in different areas, or maybe just run in a bunch of different areas that's the main thing I could think. As far as other things I could buy, I might do like reviews of running gear or something like that. Like running shoe reviews are a very big thing. People love those, but I'd also like to review other running gear as well. Because they're, especially in the running community, like outside of the track community, there's a lot of gear that people don't need. People don't need it. And I think it's a lot of bull. And like, they're basically just like being advertised something that they could just kind of go without. Because I know that track athletes are going without half of that stuff. We're not, we're not pulling up with like vest on and stuff, like just holding every water bottle that we need. And I think that people need to grow past that. And I think it's time to go. So I'd like to buy all that and review it while also flying around the country. So I do both at the same time.
I love that, man. I would definitely watch you flying to like beautiful places and finding like the most beautiful runs and doing that. I think it's a great answer. We got one more section for you. It's our rapid fire section. So just first thing that comes to your mind. Cole put together some fun ones for you, and let's have some fun with this one.
Okay.
What's the coolest place you've gone to travel because of track?
Okay. Because of track, Eugene, Oregon, and that was actually I was doing professional media for a track meet. I wasn't running the track meet. I was with City's Mag at the Prefontaine Classic. So Eugene, Oregon was a beautiful place. That track over there is crazy. I got to see a lot of pro athletes run there. So
What's your dream brand collab?
oh, I think that's a good one. That's a good one. Oh my gosh. Honestly, I think I would really like Adidas. Either Adidas or Nike, like that. I mean, I know those are two basic answers, but either Adidas or Nike. Especially Adidas because they have a very cool like apparel collection as well as their running stuff. So if I breached into both of those, because I think I can model some clothes here and there. I've done it before, so I think Adidas should hit me up at some point. I'm getting to that point.
I love it. Shoot that shot.
What's your favorite pre-race meal?
Okay, so anybody who's watched a certain couple of YouTube videos from me knows that I have my best races whenever I eat Chinese takeout the night before. So I have a go-to order of General Tso's chicken and white rice the night before big races sometimes just because like I'm comfortable. Some people's stomachs wouldn't handle that, but I've been doing it for so long. Like I've eaten that so much in my life that I know my body. I'm good. I know General Tso's chicken. That means I'm doing something crazy the next day.
That is the best answer, and literally, I made him pick that up for me the other day, so that's why we're laughing. That's a great answer.
Hey, you know.
What's the best advice you've gotten from a coach or mentor about sports or life in general?
My dear old cross country and distance track coach, Coach David Willer from Tupelo High School. He would always yell, "Finish through the line." And that was like it would always be a thing in practice, like finish through the line, always a thing at races, finish through the line. But he also liked to double it as a metaphor, like just kind of keep going throughout the whole season. Like no matter what is coming up, like no matter what kind of plateau you've hit. Because I remember he kept saying to me, finish through the line, because I remember in my senior year of high school, I ran the exact same time 5 times in a row in the 800, and I got so mad at one meet. I threw my shoes on the ground. He came over to me, calmed me down. He's just like, "Dude, you just got to finish through the line." Like he would always just kind of be the one to calm me down. So I always remember him. I still reach back to him sometimes. Whenever I'm back in the city, I go straight to him.
What's your big goal for the next track or cross country season?
This cross country season, I'd like to put together a good string of PRs. I'd like to place higher at conference than I did last year. Last year I did jump 22 places downward at my conference meet, like downward as in I finished 22 places better. So that was good for me, but I was still about 8 places away from being all conference. So I would like to jump down those 8 or more places, and I would like to be all conference in cross country this year. And then as for a track, I would like to I would like to win conference in the 800, at the very least medal, because I was I was 0.02 seconds away from a medal in the 800 this past indoor season. I just got nudged out, got caught at the line to go back to fourth. Like it was a crazy race. I broke that one down on my channel. That was like my favorite race that I've been in, but I didn't medal out of it though. So those are my big goals. And then as far as time goes, I'd like to go under 1 minute and 50 seconds in the 800, and I'd like to lower my 1500 time by as many seconds as it can lower. So I'd like to get some big PRs going.
Who's winning in an 800? You or I Show Speed?
Me. He's not taking me in anything. I got okay. 100, he can have it. 200, it's getting iffy. 300, anything over 200, I have it. I have full. He can see this. He can fly me out. Speed, fly me out. I could use the publicity, please. But anything over 200, I have him all day. Like 250, 300, 400, and then above 400, I'm dog walking him. It's not gonna be a question. So it's like, that.
Anything that we didn't cover that you wanted to share? Any projects? Anything fun that you got working on that we didn't get to cover, or just anything you want to plug before we wrap up today?
I think I'm good right now. I think everything's flowing. No, not too big of any projects going on at the moment. I'll let you know though.
Find him on IG, find him on TikTok and YouTube. We'll link all that up in the show notes. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, man. This was a blast. I learned a ton. I know he did too, and we just appreciate the time. And I hope you hit all those goals, man. Let's go.
Yes, sir. I thank you all a lot for having me. This has been a great podcast.
Yeah, thanks, man.